Hello, and welcome to Turnitin's VidBITs, where the teachers at Turnitin offer our best instructional tips for the classroom. In this session, we'll focus on converting instruction to fit a remote learning environment. We'll discuss ideas for facilitating a classroom in a remote learning environment, in particular, ideas for approaching classroom instruction or discussions, student collaboration, and providing effective feedback. Converting in-classroom instruction into a remote learning environment is a large topic. We will absolutely not be able to cover everything in the span of a few minutes, but that's not the goal. The goal of this video is to help frame some thinking around converting instruction in an effort to spur ideas and share strategies that could be applied in your classroom. To help walk through these questions, we'll include snippets of a think aloud about converting what was originally an in-classroom activity into a remote activity. Let's say I teach 8th grade social studies and I'd like to modify my unit on primary and secondary sources. For example, I like to set the stage with a classroom discussion on primary and secondary sources. Face-to-face instruction, or discussions, look a little different in a remote environment. You may want to consider using a video conferencing tool, setting up collaborative applications, or sharing instructional videos or content. The approach taken depends on the goal of the activity or technical capabilities. Let's discuss the purpose and benefits, as well as drawbacks to these approaches. Video conferencing is a great way to address the whole class, conduct discussions, and check in with students. However, if you decide to use video conferences, you'll want to consider how to leverage it in a way to enhance student participation. For example, hosting informal student lounge sessions and adding other types of technology mediums like chat will encourage communication. Another option is using a collaborative application, such as a discussion forum, or any type of application that allows learners to contribute and collaborate. Choose this option if you want to hear from each student in the class. For example, I could ask students to share via discussion forum or another app what they already know about primary and secondary sources. Instructional content like videos or interactive media is another way to facilitate instruction virtually. Although there is a variety of content available online, you may want to consider recording your own audio or video. Creating your own content allows you to keep instruction focused and cultivates familiarity for students. I may choose to have students watch an instructional video on primary and secondary sources if I want to make sure they've received this direct instruction. Student collaboration is an essential practice for learning, and group work can be facilitated in a remote environment when technology is leveraged appropriately. Let's talk about two of the approaches we previously discussed, but apply it to student collaboration. Video conferencing is a great way for students to collaborate. Students can discuss their work while sharing screens and collaborating on the task. For example, I could ask my students to individually find a number of primary and secondary sources on a topic, then meet with their partner virtually to share findings. However, students need a place to draft their work together. This is where other collaborative applications, such as shared word processing tools, come into play. Students can type on these applications simultaneously as they discuss their work. Discussions may occur over video, or they may occur over something as simple as chat or messaging. Many of these tools can be found in application suites such as Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams. After students submit work, explore options for providing the best feedback virtually. One-on-one video conferencing is a great way to check in and review work with students, but other mediums such as recorded feedback and educational applications should also be considered. Feedback in a virtual environment can be enhanced by providing more context for students. One way to do this is by recording yourself reviewing student work and sharing it with them. This option is helpful if you don't have time to meet with every student or group, but want to provide clear and targeted feedback for students. Not to mention, it's a great way to continue to nurture the student-teacher relationship. You may also want to consider using educational technology products that make feedback easier and more efficient. For example, products such as Turnitin Feedback Studio includes the ability to evaluate originality, leave inline comments tied to rubric criteria, record voice comments, or write a summary of feedback. Again, you can use these features to nurture relationships, provide concise, targeted feedback, but also perform these tasks efficiently in an organized space for students. Although converting instruction to a remote environment can be overwhelming, there are many tools to help maintain the integrity of your classroom. Start small, get comfortable, and explore ways to facilitate your classroom activities virtually. You can take a further look at some of the mentioned Feedback Studio features shown here by clicking on the links provided in the webpage description. Thanks for watching our VidBIT on converting instruction to fit a remote learning environment. Visit us at Turnitin.com to learn more.